Ladies and gentlemen, put your seatbelts on because we are getting deep with the Star Wars nerd lore today. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're in a different spot just because there's some work being done right behind my room at my home, so a lot of loud noises and mechanical tools and all that stuff. It's just not a good recording environment, so we are using my buddy Golden Guy Pictures, his studio that he uses to record his stuff. It doesn't have the cool Star Wars things in the background, but it's got the fancy equipment, so fair trade-off, I guess. Now, getting into the subject. I have come up with a theory for how Ben Solo could be in the next sequel trilogy if they decide to continue that story. Now, if you guys know me at all, you know that Kylo Ren is in my top 3 favorite Star Wars characters of all time, right behind Boba Fett and Ahsoka Tano. And I would love to see Adam Driver return. He's my favorite actor of all time, and I want to see him back, I really do. I know that those movies are not, how do I put this? Highly regarded by fans, but there are some good things about them, in my opinion, and Kylo Ren is by far the best part. And after watching The Rise of Skywalker, I believe that there is room to believe that he could come back in some sort of way. And by coming back, I don't mean just as a Force ghost. I mean in the flesh. I want to see Adam Driver be Ben Solo and get the character right. Not that it was his fault, it was definitely the writing's fault, but I want to see justice for Ben Solo. I want to see him actually have an impact on the galaxy while he's alive. Now, before we get into the actual theory, there's some deep lore things that I need to explain first because there's some tricky concepts. We're going to be diving into the cosmic and living force, the force dyad that was introduced in The Rise of Skywalker, and also the wills. So first, the cosmic and living force. What are they? What does that mean? The cosmic force would be the overseer of the living force, essentially. It is the force that cannot be controlled. It is what controls the galaxy and binds the galaxy together as a whole. The living force is the force that resides in each individual object. So when Luke is lifting the rocks, he's manipulating the living force. The midichlorians are essentially the bridge connecting the cosmic and the living force. The more midichlorians you have, the more powerful you are, the more of the living force you're able to manipulate. Anakin is a perfect example of that. He had the highest midichlorian count there ever was, recorded in the Jedi Order and during the prequel era, and that is why he was able to be so powerful. Now, the wills are essentially Force God. We've never seen them before. They've made some impacts in canon. We do see the Force priestesses, which are direct servants of the wills, but we have never actually seen the wills in canon. But from what we have gathered, the wills are essentially the storytellers of the Skywalker saga. Hence where the saying comes, the Journal of the Wills. It's believed that the wills created the cosmic and the living force and oversee both sides of that. Now, where the Force dyad comes in, this was first explored with Rey and Kylo Ren in The Rise of Skywalker. It is a very poorly thought out idea, in my opinion, but it does have potential to be cool, especially if this theory comes to fruition. A Force dyad is essentially when there are 2 beings in the living force that equate to 1 being in the cosmic force, which is why Rey and Kylo were able to pass the lightsaber through space and time and break all of those rules that we know to be true in our galaxy and universe. Now that I have those factors of my theory explained, I would like to actually get into explaining the theory. So the next trilogy or film or whatever this form, this story would take, Rey would be meditating. She would be having this vision, or she'd be sleeping, and she'd get a vision of a new threat coming to the galaxy, whether it's the Yuuzhan Vong or, for God's sake, Palpatine returned again. Please no. This new threat would generate a thought in Rey's head that, oh my goodness, we need a Skywalker to come back. Let me clarify, a real Skywalker to come back.
Rey Skywalker.
With Rey being much older and much more powerful at this point, she's able to commune with Luke and Anakin and Yoda and all those other Jedi much easier. She has a much better grasp on her role in the galaxy and realizes what it means to really be a Jedi. So with the knowledge of this vision that she had, she goes to those Force ghosts and tells them about this threat that she feels coming. Rey then convinces these Force ghosts that they have to do something about it. And the Force ghosts give her the idea that Ben can come back if the wills allow it. And the reason that Ben could come back and not Anakin or Luke or any of these other much more powerful Skywalkers, much more trained and knowledgeable Skywalkers, is because of the dyad that Ben shares with Rey. Now this next part, I don't know if it's possible for this to even happen, but it sounds cool, and I think it would be cool if it was possible. The Force Ghosts grant access for Rey to meet with the wills. Again, I don't know if that's possible, but we don't know anything about the wills, so for this theory's sake, I'd say it is. Rey then communes with the wills and asks them for Ben's return to the galaxy, knowing that she needs a true Skywalker to come back and bring that raw power for the good of the galaxy to save it. The wills confirm to Rey that Ben could come back, but it would require a sacrifice. And that sacrifice would be Rey's ability to become a Force ghost after she dies. And the reason is, there's two reasons behind this. One, it gives Rey purpose in this new trilogy. It doesn't allow her to be this Mary Sue type character where everything goes her way. It causes her to make a sacrifice for the greater good. The second reason is, I don't think that J.J. Abrams really thought out this idea of a Force dyad, because for two to exist in the living Force and only one to exist in the cosmic Force, what happens when they both die? Are they the same person, or are they two different entities in one? Because if that's the case, I don't understand. So again, for the sake of my theory, because there's zero context for it, I'm going to say that Ben is stuck in some sort of purgatory when he dies, which is why we never see him at the end of The Rise of Skywalker, and is waiting for Rey to die in real life so that they can go to Force Heaven and become one being. And because Rey is the one that is wanting to break this rule in the cosmic Force, she is the one that has to make the sacrifice. So, in order for Ben to come back, she has to sacrifice her own ability to become a Force ghost when she dies, to live within the cosmic Force. Rey would decide that, because at the end of the day, I know a lot of us don't like her, but she is a good guy. Like, she is a hero of the story. So, she would make the right choice, and she would choose to sacrifice her ability to live within the cosmic Force after she passes, to bring Ben back and to save the galaxy in the here and now, because Ben is needed in the here and now. And one reason that I'm really fond of this theory is because it not only gives Rey's character purpose, but it could actually make it sad if she dies. Like, if she were to die at the end of this supposed trilogy, that would be the last time we ever saw her. And I know some of you are like, yeah, that'd be great. But if it actually took Rey and made her a three-dimensional character and made her someone that, all Star Wars fans mostly cared about, then yeah, this could be a really good character turnaround and definitive ending for the character that we would never see her again, at least going forward. And not only does that change the way we look at Rey, but it adds stakes for her character. I think we all knew watching the sequel trilogy that Rey wasn't going to die at the end. I think we all knew that. Even after she got done fighting Palpatine, of course she was going to come back to life. They weren't going to let her do that. But if they give their hero, something to really fight for, and she fights so hard that she ends up dying and sacrificing herself, that says something. If that's not an inspiration to young girls, which is the point of Rey's character, I don't know what is. I think it's only a matter of time before they continue the sequel trilogy story, and I really want them to find a way to bring Ben Solo back. I don't just want to see him in a Force ghost and him just being mentor to new Jedi and to old Rey. I just don't want that. I want him to really make an impact and really serve a purpose, because Adam Driver deserves a second chance. Kylo Ren's a great character, but he got that way because of luck. He's the only thing that stayed consistent throughout 7, 8, and 9's story. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this theory. Do you think it would be a good story point for the next trilogy? Do you want to see Ben Solo come back? Do you even care about Kylo Ren? Your answer better be yes. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Patreon, Instagram, and what's the other one? TikTok. Forgot about that one. Any way that you can support the channel helps. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always.